Did you know that there are two different height limits? You probably already know there is a depth limit of 0 out of 30, which is at the surface of the ground. In my last video, which will be linked in the description, I explained how to get below this limit. And you probably also know there is a platform height limit of 30 out of 30. We cannot normally drag height-adjustable platforms any higher than this. But it's a little-known fact that the true height limit is 40 out of 30. Placing items after this point does not allow you to save, so that's why I consider it to be the true height limit. I'll show you two tricks to reach this height. First, we're going to take out this floating boulder and pull it all the way up to 30 out of 30. You'll need to use subspace boulder, floating precipice. It's important that you use this specific boulder. Then we'll take out the height-adjustable furniture we want to float and leave it on the ground. We'll also need to take out a random temporary item which is just going to be used to help us perform the glitch. Create a set with the items on the ground. Now select the floating platform on the ground and adjust the vertical height somewhere at or below 10.0 depending on your desired height. For example, 10.0 will give you the maximum height increase of 40, while 5.0 will give you a height increase of 35. This is the only time you can adjust the amount of height you will gain above 30. Going over 10.0 will cause you to surpass the true height limit, so be careful to stop exactly when the number turns to 10. Now we'll drag the set onto the floating platform above. Notice how our platform turned red? That's because it has surpassed the 30 out of 30 platform height limit. We can force it to turn blue by tapping on the rotation circle line once. But pressing confirm turns it red again. Thankfully, we can ignore that by pressing dissolve set. Here's a recap of those steps. Clicking on the raised platform should now show a height of 40 out of 30. Mission successful. Unfortunately, height-adjustable furniture cannot be moved after performing this glitch. So you'll have to make sure you put them in the position you want during steps 7 through 9. After step 9, it's too late and they can't be multi-selected or even rotated. Now I'm going to demonstrate how we can use this platform to place other furniture. As you can see, the lamp turns red due to being above the 30 out of 30 limit. But since it's not a height-adjustable furniture, we can just float it by zooming out and clicking underneath it to turn it blue. If it doesn't turn blue, you need to start over because you went too high on step 5. Unlike height-adjustable furniture, the lamp can be rotated and repositioned by using multi-select. You can see here the difference of a lamp at 40 height using the glitch versus placing the lamp normally at 30 height. By now, if you've watched this video and my last video, which is linked in the description, you should know all about getting around the depth and height limits for height-adjustable furniture. The methods shown in these two videos are the only ways to break the depth and height limitations on height-adjustable furniture. Now I'm going to show you an alternative method for floating above 30/30 that only works on non-height adjustable furniture. Just be aware, if you are able to switch to vertical adjustment, the following explanation will not work with that furnishing. First, take out this floating boulder, subspace boulder, floating precipice. Then take out this pavement, foundations of stone, path of cultivation. Lastly, take out the non-height adjustable furniture you want to float above the 30 height limit. I'll use that lamp again. Now place the furniture you want to float onto the pavement, then place the pavement onto the floating boulder. Now raise the floating boulder to 9.5 height. Just like before, do not go above 9.5 or else you will surpass the true height limit and won't be able to save. Turn on multi-select and select the furniture, then the pavement, in that order. Don't press confirm or create set. Now drag it onto the ground and press cancel. As you can see, the lamp has jumped up into the air. It's actually at the perfect height where the lamp will be raised to 40 out of 30 when you raise the platform all the way up. At this point, make sure you can save. If you get an error message, that means you went too high during step number 5, so you've surpassed the true height limit and have to start over. Now you can move this floating boulder to raise, lower, and reposition the lamp all you want. This is the main reason I wanted to show you this alternative method, because while it doesn't work on height-adjustable furniture, It's more convenient and easier to get the perfect placement. Once you're happy with the position of the furniture, just float it by zooming out and clicking underneath, then remove the floating boulder to easily get rid of that junk we needed to perform the glitch. Now, you might be wondering what to do when the furniture you want to float is too big to fit on the pavement. For example, notice how this lantern right float won't go on the pavement. First, make sure Snap Furniture is enabled in the settings. Then place down more pavements so that they will cover the ground enough to fit the size of the furniture you want to float. Then you should be able to drag it onto the pavements. If it's still turning red, that just means you didn't make the pavement area big enough and have to add some more. At this point, pull away the pavements one by one and then remove them. We want to keep the pavement that the furniture is stuck on though, so put that one off to the side once you find it and then finish removing the extras. Now we've solved that problem and got the furniture onto the pavement. If you're struggling to place the pavement on the floating boulder, that's just because you need to place it in just the right spot. But if you need to, you can just add more floating boulders to make it easier and take them away just like we did with the pavements. Now we need to raise the platform to 9.5 out of 30, just like we learned earlier. This time, in order to set cancel, we will need to use multi-select and drag over them. Angle your camera like this and use the drag select on the side so that it grabs the big furniture before it grabs the pavement. Just like before, drag off and cancel and you're good to go. Mission successful. Also, I need to clarify something about the true height limit. It's not actually 40 out of 30, but it's more exactly somewhere between 40 and 41. I rounded down for the video because it's easier to explain and you'll encounter less errors when you try to follow my steps. So I just wanted to let you know that. So did you learn something? Thanks for watching and feel free to interact with me in the comments.